What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. So today I woke up to tags of posts, like a series of posts from this guy who is a gospel artist, is part of Spirit of Praise. His name is Xolisa Kwinana. Ne? I've never really been much of a follower of him or a consumer of his gospel content, because those who know me know that I love my gospel. But but I know him, and I was very much disturbed this morning when I saw posts from dating to 2 days ago, which were posted by his wife. Obviously when somebody speaks about domestic violence and is a married person, we just assume that they're talking about the person that they are married to, And when she talks about how she just thanks God that she didn't lose the baby, I'm gonna put the statement here or the status here so that you guys can see it. But I want to apologize for those who don't understand Xhosa, because parts of it are written in Xhosa. But basically what she was saying is that she's been through a lot, through her mom's passing, her realizing that she has to now fight for herself and fight for her kids. And also the fact that she just thanks God that her son did not die while she was still pregnant, because the son knows the pain that she's been through. And there's also a comment that I saw where somebody was commenting about how, when you take a guy who is not good looking and you marry him, the next thing he thinks is better than you. And she also commented under that, And when I went to check her out on TikTok, I realized that the account which people were taking all of these pictures that she posted are actually backdating to 2023, where she was posting about how it took her 5 years to fully recover to be where she is now after whatever that she's been through. And obviously, knowing us South Africans, whenever there's a case here, GBV, we're just going to come guns blazing, as we should, because it's a very serious pandemic in our country, And as if that's not enough, I've also been seeing, I don't know whether it's promoters or these people who do events, taking him down from a list of artist lineup, for the gospel concerts. I also saw Mpumi Mzweni, that I love very much, by the way, posting that the guy is no longer going to be part of the lineup of her concert, and GBV is a very serious matter in our country. And I feel like before we get to the seriousness of this GBV and the guy's response, there's something that I want to share. I pray to God that gospel artists can actually watch this video and actually listen to what I want to say right now. I feel like the one thing that people don't understand is that as a gospel artist, righteousness is your PPE. And what I mean by that is, you don't entirely have to be righteous, because you are trying every day. You can if God has given you the grace, but it's a daily thing. You practice it every day. But wearing the image of righteousness is your PPE. For example, when I go to work, I have to wear my overalls, my boots, my helmet, my earplugs, my dust mask. Like literally, I have to be fully covered in my PPE before I go to the plant. And the day that I go to work wearing leggings and paka, there's no way a safety officer is going to allow me to just walk the plant looking like that. So basically it means that whether I like it or not, whether I feel good about it or not, I have to be fully covered in PPE before I go to do my job. So once you choose, or this career of being a gospel artist or the calling chooses you, you need to understand that righteousness is your PPE. That's why, sometimes when I see gospel artists drinking their alcohol in squeeze bottles and whatever, I don't judge them, because I understand that their safety officers is the people, the gospel followers, and they expect righteousness from them, whether you like it or not. People who consume the gospel content or music, they want to see righteousness. They don't want to be blessed by your music because you have a good voice and God has called you and whatever you are singing about is resonating with them. They also expect you to live a righteous life, a perfect life, which is almost impossible, like I said, but it's part of the job. Meaning that if it means that you have to fake it until you make it, then you must, because, it's part of the PPE. Whether you like it or not, you need to behave yourself. There are certain things that you can't do as a gospel artist simply because you're a gospel artist and there are people who are righteous people of God who are following your music, who feel like once they hear that you've done something wrong, they're not going to feel the Holy Spirit moving because of what you've done. So I think before you actually get into the gospel space, you need to understand that literal cancel culture exists in the gospel space. It may not exist with people like Bomek G, where he will always have followers even if he fumbles. But in the gospel space, yes, you will come back after a couple of days and you will cry about whatever you did. You will repent, you will do whatever. But these people are very brutal. They are more brutal than the people of the world. And that does not mean that Bona self, they are living a righteous life. No. Bona, they are living the life of the world, but they want you to live a righteous life as somebody who's actually singing gospel, you know? So I hope you understand what you're getting yourself into before you go into the gospel field, you know, or answering the call of singing gospel or being a pastor. There's a lot more that is expected from you as part of your PPE based on the career choice or the calling that you've chosen to follow. Ne? So I also now, going back to the guy, Xolisa Kwinana, I saw that he released a statement, I think also because he was seeing that people are busy canceling him and all that stuff. And when I checked, he was not in the country. I think he's in Zimbabwe or something, performing with whatever. Yeah, but there's a statement which he released also, which is denying, basically, you know, denying the allegations, denying that he has ever been physical with his wife, denying that he was not supportive towards his wife, be it financially, be it emotionally, be it physically. Like literally he's saying that I've always been supportive towards my wife, and the time when her mom passed away, he stipulated I even took out a car to drive the family, and let me actually just put the statement here so that you guys can read for yourself, because that one at least is in English. Hey, but now going back to the issue of the wife accusing, you know, the thing is, I think the one thing that people are not getting, or maybe because we don't want to hear anything about abuse, especially towards a woman, you know, because already it's a pandemic in our country. But the minute the wife speaks about gender-based violence and enduring and what, and she's married, we just say who it's him, of which obviously it has to be. I mean, who's busy giving you domestic violence? That is not your husband when you are married to someone, you know? Even though she tried not to be straightforward in saying that my husband is abusing me, the guy is saying that they're busy arranging family meetings and all that stuff. And I really feel sorry for the girl, you know? And the reason why I feel sorry for her is that this is somebody who's still grieving the loss of her mom. And as she stipulated even in her statement that because her mom is not there anymore, she doesn't have parents anymore, so it's like nobody's there to defend her. So chances are even the people who are going to be present in the so-called family meeting, if there has to be a family meeting, there are people that don't even probably care, you know, which makes the family meetings null and void and pointless. And now for me personally, guys, I'm not even a fan of family meetings, because basically when you are sitting together with your uncles and aunts are just going to take your news and share with their kids so that their kids can share with other people, and it just spreads like wildfire. And it's not going to help you much, because these people, like people who are born before us, the generation before us, that the things that they believe in, the advices that they're going to give you, they are still going to oppress you as a woman. You know, I don't think in a family meeting an uncle or an aunt can stand up and say, my child, if this guy is beating you up or if this guy is abusing you, let's go home. It can only be your mother and father who would say something like that. The rest of them, especially if they're married and they're staying and they've been staying in these marriages that don't even function, you know, they will advise you to stay. They will advise you that you must, you know, you must be strong in your marriage and all that stuff. But if the mother that actually gave birth to you, but it's not every mother, you know, majority of the mothers, you know, would want their kids to be okay. Their fathers also would want the kids to be okay. But for me, I feel like, yeah, as a gospel artist, you cannot afford to literally, like your life is not your own. There's no room for error for you as a gospel artist in South Africa. I think it's just unfortunate that a lot of women actually keep quiet because they're scared of the fact that if they speak, the guy is going to lose their source of income, which is going to affect their children. Because look now, for example, if people are cancelling this Xolisa Kwinana from their posters and they're no longer booking him. That means that it's gonna be hitting him financially. If it's hitting him financially, if the kids or the wife was being supported by the money that's coming from these things, then that means the same person who's crying GBV is the same person who's going to now suffer also financially, because the source of income has always been taken away from her, which I feel like is the reason why people think they can always get away with abusing their wives, you know, or their partners, especially if they're bringing income, because they know that once she speaks, a door or a source of income has been closed, meaning that she's also going to suffer. And I just want to say, Hore, every dog has its day. You know, if really you were taking advantage of that fact and you were abusive towards your wife, the way she's saying, you know, unfortunately for you, today is your day. You know, today is your day. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it proper, Hore, how ruthless are South Africans, especially Christians, when it comes to GBV, when a woman is crying. You, my brother. Also to my sister, I just want to say, because I know that you are grieving a lot, you know, for the fact that you are saying you went through a lot when you were still pregnant, to you losing your mom and everything in between, to a point where you are speaking about your situation. I can only imagine what you are carrying. And I just want to say strongs to you, you know, all love and support to you. If you want to also, like the guy is saying in his statement, that he's got proof of certain things, he can provide it if they need be. If you want to actually go ahead with this whole thing because you have already opened that door, then yeah, we are supporting you, we are rallying behind you, and we are saying, Ori, you deserve a happy life, you deserve to be, you know, healed, you deserve to be in a place where you feel safe, you know. So if this means, or this is what you have to do, just know that Mina, for one, I don't know about my community members, they will leave a comment down below and tell us, or also even maybe there's more that they know, they will tell us in the comment section. But nice, I'm just saying strongs to you. And my brother, hey, there will be nashing of teeth. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Please do leave a comment down below and tell me what you think, and also what you know, because I did see some comments of people saying, you know, at long last, my friend, my sister, I'm glad you are talking in this and that. So probably if there are people who know about this in the comment section, please do hit us up and tell us what you think. And yeah, if we have to do a follow-up, if we have to do a live, please just do mention that in the comment section, and I shall see you guys on the flip side. God bless you.